Now let's talk about the positive inotropic drugs. What are the drugs? The drugs are like digitalis, or you can say digoxin, dopamine and dobutamine, phosphodiesterase inhibitors, etc. Now let's look at the mechanism of action of digitalis, how these drugs act. Okay. So digitalis bind with these drugs bind with the sodium potassium ATPase and slows it down. That means if you give these drugs, if this is a cardiac muscle cell and there are some sodium potassium ATPase, these are special transporters on the cell membrane that moves out 3 sodium in exchange of 2 potassium. Okay, 2 potassium comes in and 3 sodium goes out. So digitalis bind with these receptors and inhibit these receptors. Okay, so sodium cannot go outside and accumulate inside the cell. As intracellular sodium is increased, extracellular sodium will not come inside due to concentration gradient. Okay, normally what happens that as sodium goes out, here sodium concentration is more and inside sodium concentration is very low. So this sodium comes inside the cell due to concentration gradient and then it is again pumped out, right? So now that this pump is inhibited or very slow, so sodium will accumulate within the cell and this sodium cannot come because of concentration gradient, and this sodium comes in exchange of calcium. Calcium goes out and sodium comes in. So what will happen that inside the cell calcium will also accumulate, right? So the sodium potassium exchanger will not work well, it will be slowed down. Now calcium cannot go out and accumulate inside the cell. So there will be increased intracellular calcium with every depolarization. These extra calcium will be stored in sarcoplasmic reticulum. Sarcoplasmic reticulum is the muscle endoplasmic reticulum. So there is increased force of contraction. Let's talk about digitalis. There are 2 types of digitalis, digoxin and digitoxin, and we mainly use digoxin, not digitoxin, because digitoxin is more toxic and its onset of action is slow, where digoxin onset is very rapid, and this is excreted via kidney and this drug is excreted via the hepatobiliary route. So we prefer digitoxin over digoxin in only CKD patients, okay, patients with renal failure. Now let's talk about digoxin. It increases intracellular calcium and thereby increases force of contraction. So it is a positive inotropic action. And there is another important feature of this drug, that is these drugs stimulate vagus nerve. For that reason, vagus nerve is a parasympathetic nerve and that causes negative chronotropic action. That means decreases the heart rate and conduction velocity. Heart rate and AV conduction is decreased. So the ultimate action is decreased heart rate and conduction velocity and increased force of contraction. So you can see there are some opposing actions, positive inotropic action and negative chronotropic action. Let's see the clinical uses of digoxin. You can use digoxin in severe intractable left ventricular failure where the heart muscle is very weak, and also you can use in heart failure with atrial fibrillation where heart failure is associated with atrial fibrillation. Now why we use these drugs in atrial fibrillation? Because here the atrial rate is highly increased. You see, very high atrial rate. So if all these beats, all these abnormal beats are passed through the AV node, okay, from the atria to the ventricles, then ventricles will undergo tachycardia like VT and VF, which is a grave condition VTVF are grave conditions, so we do not want that. So we want to block the AV pathway. So we want to block the AV pathway. Here we want to block the AV pathway so that atrial beats cannot pass through the AV node to the ventricles. For that reason we give digoxin, and digoxin slows the AV node. AV nodal conduction is slowed. Okay, for that reason atrial beats cannot pass to the to the ventricles, and the ventricles are saved. So this is the reason why we use digoxin in atrial fibrillation. Okay. Now let's see the adverse effects of digitalis or digoxin. In the cardiovascular system, you can say sinus bradycardia, sinus arrest, heart block, atrial flutter, fibrillation. These things can occur. Ventricular tachycardia, ventricular fibrillation, because the force of contraction is increased. For that reason these things can occur. In gastrointestinal system, anorexia, nausea, vomiting. In central nervous system, fatigue, headache, confusion, delirium. And these are some specific features of digoxin toxicity or digoxin adverse effects, like yellow vision, microspia. Microspia means the patient will see a large object as a very small object. This is microspia. And macrospia is the opposite. He or she will see the small object as a very big object. This is macrospia. Now let's look at the predisposing factors for digitalis toxicity. Hypokalemia. Why hypokalemia will lead to digitalis toxicity? Because potassium and digoxin compete for the binding with sodium potassium ATPase. You can remember this transporter, sodium potassium ATPase. So digoxin competes with potassium for binding with this receptor. If there is hypokalemia, so more digitalis or digoxin will bind, and that will lead to digoxin toxicity. In congestive cardiac failure patients, they are more likely to be hypokalemic. Why? Because these patients are usually under diuretics, and diuretics cause hypokalemia. So how can you prevent? By providing potassium supplement, or you can use potassium sparing diuretics like spironolactone. Another thing is hypercalcemia. Why? Because increased calcium level will lead to digoxin load the cell with more calcium. If you are giving calcium, or there is a hypercalcemia, now digoxin will load the cells with more calcium. There will be more chance of developing toxicity. The digoxin action will be more. Now let's talk about the toxicity. Due to strong vagal stimulation, there is inhibition of SA node and AV node, and there may be AV block. Okay, so AV block, the other name of AV block is heart block, so there may be heart block. Number 2, due to heavy calcium loading on atrial and ventricular myocardial cells, there can be atrial and ventricular tachycardias, like, and atrial tachycardia is also called supraventricular tachycardia. So supraventricular tachycardia chance is more with digitalis. So on ECG paper, if you see supraventricular tachycardia with nodal block, with AV block, then it is digitalis toxicity until and unless proven otherwise. So if not proved otherwise, you can surely say that this is digitalis toxicity if you see SVT and nodal block simultaneously on an ECG paper. What are the contraindications of this drug? You cannot give this drug in thyrotoxicosis, because in thyrotoxicosis patients, increased T3 and T4 levels lead to overexpression of beta 1 receptors on the heart. That will lead to increased sympathetic activity, which will cause overloading of the cells with cations. Okay, so there is chance of ventricular tachyarrhythmias, right? Don't give quinidine along with digitalis, because this drug will lead to decreased renal clearance of digoxin. it will prevent renal clearance of digoxin and there will be increased risk of digoxin toxicity. Amiodarone and verapamil, their mechanism is almost same. If you give amiodarone or verapamil with digoxin, they will displace digoxin from plasma protein binding and thereby increase the chance of digoxin toxicity. Management of digoxin toxicity, how will you manage digoxin toxicity? Stop the drug, very easy. Then check the serum electrolyte levels, potassium, calcium, magnesium. If there is any abnormality, then promptly manage the electrolyte imbalances. Then if there is severe tachycardias, then you have to give sodium channel blockers like lidocaine. We will study these drugs in antiarrhythmic drugs. Then if severe complete heart block, or you can say complete heart block, atropine is the medical treatment, but this is not specific. The specific treatment is pacemaker. You have to give a permanent pacemaker to these patients. And digitalis antibody, digibind. Okay, the name is very easy to remember because digitalis antibody, digibind. Okay, that binds digitalis. So this is all about drugs used in heart failure.